Our Lenten class on Mark this year considered the lesson that Bobby just read so nicely. The original written version is found in Mark chapter 5. Luke got it from there. And a number of us in the Lenten class were understandably perplexed at the nature of the story. Many of us were even surprised that the weird little story exists. The story is meant to be funny, so you'd think that that would help us remember it, but as I mentioned before, we Americans tend to be way too serious and somber when we read Bible stories. And one consequence of that is we miss funny parts, and there are lots of them. And those parts are often there to help us remember the story and to drive home a point or two. Humor, you see, does more than amuse. It can also help us learn and remember and illustrate points. Jesus uses humor. The gospel authors use humor, and we're supposed to laugh and learn from it. Honest. A very common and effective form of humor is to contrast the funny with serious, unfunny stuff. Political humor is a good example of this, that it goes way, way back. The Greeks and Romans used political humor, and so did the Old and New Testament authors and many of the characters. Political humor takes on serious matters, puts them in a funny light, and does so most often through something called satire. Oxford Dictionary defines satire as the use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics and other topical issues. The Daily Show, Bill O'Reilly's No Spin Zone, Saturday Night Live, those are modern American examples of this kind of political humor. And depending on what political issue a person is being satirized, we may or may not like the humor. Like it or not, it serves a function. A humor scholar, I'd love to be a humor scholar, named George Test, put it like this, quote, "Political satire is playful and is designed to elicit laughter while simultaneously casting judgment. It is this function of casting judgment that separates satire from broader notions of political humor. Jokes and texts that treat political topics in a light-hearted manner but offer no criticism of institutions, policies, or social norms do not constitute satire. Rather, satire questions the existing political or social order, usually by juxtaposing the existing imperfect reality with visions of what could or should be. And so while satire can be biting and even aggressive in tenor, the underlying premise of a satirical text is often optimistic, as it suggests we collectively deserve better. In the Bible, such humor also makes theological points, and most often in the vision and judgment and hope aspects, but sometimes in just the smiling and laughing parts too. And today's Bible lesson is full of political satire, a serious and a humorous side. The story in our lesson today is usually called something like the healing of the Gerasene demonic, and Americans tend to take in the serious parts that are on the surface. We see it either as a horror story about a scary demon-possessed man whom Jesus supernaturally exorcises, or we see it as a sad story about a mistreated, mentally ill man whom Jesus somehow lovingly tends to and heals. And it's great that Jesus helped the bedeviled man, but this is not just a story about some guy who gets miracle help from Jesus. And while demon possession is certainly serious for a person afflicted, the gravity of the story can and was meant to be heard to go way beyond Jesus providing a miracle to a single man. It's not the only or arguably even the main meaning. There's much more to this odd story. Jews and Gentiles had a serious dislike of one another. And Jesus arrives in a land filled with Gentiles after crossing the seas, where he calls it a lake, crosses the sea in a boat full of fearful disciples whom he protects by calm, threatening storm at sea. I mentioned before that bodies of water in the Bible represent chaos. And Jesus, in the previous story, famously conquered chaos on the way to Gerasene. And when he gets ashore in Gerasene, the land filled with Gentiles, he encounters chaos there too. Gentiles were considered unclean and profane, and as a rule were loathed. And this included Romans and anyone else who was not Jewish. Gerasene then represents an unclean and profane place because it was full of unclean people. And one signal of this is the pigs. Pigs are an often funny image to us, so unclean that we label messy beatings as pig or pig-like. The pigs could be funny back in Luke's day too, but they were not just unclean in the pig pen sense, but were also ritually unclean. Pigs were forbidden to be eaten or raised or even called by name because pigs carry diseases and they spread filth and they eat filth. They are unclean. And also because pigs in Judaism symbolize hypocrisy. They are said to pretend to be kosher by having hooves, but not chewing their cud. And so pigs have a tricky, deceitful image in the Jewish culture. And that midrash connecting pigs to Rome reads, just as the pig sticks out its hooves when it is resting as if to say, I'm kosher, so did the Romans put on a show of justice to mask their avarice and corruption. And just that little midrash, we can hear in its satire a judgment on Rome. And we can find hope in our deserving better than hypocritic justice and political greed and depravity. And most of us today still think we deserve that sort of betterness from our political systems and institutions. Being a pig in Luke's story was an even bigger put-down than it is today. To want to be a pig was madness. And it is that madness in the form of demons named Legion, after the Roman army, that ironically wants to be in a pig herd. It's serious, funny stuff. That Rome's institution of Legion aspired to be filthy is serious. Adding that they aspire to be filthy pigs is funny. Having the filthy pigs fly into the sea, that's comic genius. Pigs are the ultimate sign of uncleanliness, but there are other signs of uncleanliness in the story. Before the pigs appear, there are tombs with dead bodies, demons, and nakedness. They're all unclean, as well as just being Gentile. And the Gentile who greets Jesus is a naked, demon-possessed tomb hugger who is so messed up that even the Gentiles have locked him on the ground and shackled him. Even the Gentiles know he is unclean and know he is chaotic. And that nameless man, whom history calls the Gerasene demonic, can be understood as a monster. He is set up to seemingly mock all Gentiles as the story begins. And like the sea that Jesus just calmed, the presence of Gentiles was thought to bring crazy chaos and unrest. Indeed, the occupying Gentile Roman army could be pointed to as proof positive of that. But it's not just the Roman army. Gentiles as a whole were considered of another race and religion from another land, and so as a rule were demonized. And in case we want to look down on this practice, that very same sort of demonizing goes on today toward those of other lands and races and religions, right? I mean, think about it. I doubt a week goes by that we don't hear or read about foreigners or those of another religion or another race being painted as monsters of the source. Demons, many in our culture, bring chaos to this very day in the 21st century. The demonize the other gambit has been going on throughout human history. It's a sad and very serious ploy that wreaks havoc and chaos in the world with untruths about other people. And consequently, the lesson, starting out with a hideous monster Gentile in a chaotic state, would not be unexpected by Luke's audience any more than we sadly can expect American television shows and movies to start with stereotype foreigners and others as monster-like. But today's lesson, today's story was, and still is, quite surprising. Just as Jesus confronted chaos at sea, he steps onto land and confronts chaos in the form of demons. The instant Jesus confronted the demons, they threw himself before him and begged mercy. And Jesus asked their name, and from the answer we learn what troubles the man who symbolizes Gentiles is what troubles the Jews. Legion, the Roman army that symbolizes all of Rome and its awfulness. The demons are not a man in this story. They're not even given the name of supernatural things. They are named Legion, the abusive, oppressive, occupying human institution of the day. It is the Rome from the Midrash that claims to be kosher and puts on a show of just their avarice and corruption. Rome's Legion, the pig of an institution, is soiling the land with its filth and disease and deceit. It is the demon appearing through its brutal and unjust army, oppressing Jews and Gentiles. And telling Legion knows that Jesus follows God's way, bringing in the reign of God wherever he goes. And the reign of God is more powerful than any earthly reign. And so what does Legion do? The most mighty army meekly begs Jesus to let it get away, join the other pigs in a nearby herd. Wanting to be a pig is madness to Luke's listeners, and it is that madness in the form of demons named Legion that ironically wants to be in a filthy pig herd. Jesus grants Legion's wish, allowing the chaotic demon their choice to go into the pig. Rome is so messed up, so filthy and diseased, even in the pig herd they cause chaos, and the whole herd flies into the sea, where chaos typically reigns. Every non-Roman in first century Palestine, both Gentile and Jew, would have loved that. They would have found it very funny, even as we might if we let ourselves. And it's not just common Jews, it's theologically just and satirically judges not just Rome, but the listeners who have been taught to hate their neighbor Gentiles. The story teaches listeners to learn that Gentiles are literally not to be demonized. That it is the institution of Rome, not the people, who are monsters. Jesus insists the demon-free man stay a garrison, stay a Gentile. There's not a push to make him Jewish or go follow Jesus. Jesus wants freedom. What he wants, he says at the end of the story, is go home. Tell people what God's done for you. He's cared for you. He's loved as a Gentile. And he is pointedly left at the end, holding Jesus' love and respect, and at the very least, every listener's sympathy and desire for well-being. In this story, there's a serious set of bigotries that are set up and then knocked completely down by Jesus. On one level, Jesus cures a person of demons, which is good. On another level, Jesus cures an entire people of demons, which is amazing. And that's the ending that we typically miss. That's the extraordinary miracle that we overlook. And that ending is a worldwide vision of hope, a world where not only the filthy, corrupt Rome homes of the world get a just inning of their own design, but where Jesus' followers see everyone, regardless of religion or race or country of origin, as demon-free. No person, even those Jesus followers might imagine or be told are monsters, nor are they undeserving of love. Love, the desire and the action for the well-being of others, even our enemies, is commanded by Jesus, and it is played out by Jesus in this awesome story. In the theology of Jesus and Luke and the early church, whether we like it or not, whether we agree with it or not, people are not demons. Institutions can be demonic, but not humans. Evil institutions are the demons that need exorcism. Jesus takes the demons falsely placed in Gentiles by stereotypes and puts them out in front and center. Gives them the name of the real demons, legion, tools of Rome, the earthly power oppressing Jew and Gentile alike. Jesus shows that chaos is Rome, and he takes the blame out of individual people and puts it where it should be. In the herd of chaos, the demons make him. In short, Jesus confronted and he healed all Gentiles and Jews of demonhood, not some serious stuff and hopeful. And yes, we also get to hear how Jesus helped pigs fly. And we can laugh at that even as we